Hello and welcome to the Ile Notre Dame once again for what promises to be another incredible Canadian Grand Prix at a fiercely competitive circuit, where pole position can often be decided by less than a tenth of a second. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average lap speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and the owner-driver alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Lance Stroll and Perez, Sainz, Verstappen, Albon and Daniel Kvyat, Norris, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Gasly, Ocon, Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou and Kevin Magnussen, De Vries, Leclerc, Delatraz and Nobuharu Matsushita. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish. We're looking good so far. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. George is coming in for his stop. Release, release. We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy. Is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Exit, exit now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. behind us is 7.3 seconds. Use your overtake button more, it's time to utilize some of this energy. We're leading our teammate by 35.0 seconds. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Superb driving. That's the race win.
That's it then for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. And after a thrilling race, we see a new name heading up the championship standings. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
Let's move on to the constructors. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.